Hello students, welcome to Geography online class. Today I am just explaining the part after the portion that I discussed in the previous class about the importance of forest. The main thing that forests are not same everywhere. We can see with the passage of time there is a change in the natural vegetation. That means India's natural vegetation has undergone many changes. Now, what is the reason behind it? Why it has undergone many changes? So, number one, we can say that the population is increasing. Number one is a population increase is the point number one, population increase. Point number two, we can say that this growing demand has changed the vegetative part into a cultivable land. So, second point will be transformation of the natural vegetative areas into the cultivable land. So, transformation of the land, transformation of land. That means all the natural vegetative areas are transformed into a cultivable ground. Why? Because the demand is high. Next, the development of industries has changed the scenario. Development of industries. I am just giving example of the previous one, like for the second point I am giving, while I am writing the third point, I am giving the example of the second one, like the Uttar Pradesh of our country, the place, then the places of Punjab and Haryana. It was a Terai belt region. It comes under that Terai belt region, and Terai belt was actually a densely forested areas. But as the population is increasing faster, so as a result those flat level terrain has been transformed into the agricultural plot. Now it is permanently a cultivable ground. So in this way the natural vegetation cover got reduces from our country. Thirdly, we can take the example of the Chota Nagpur plateau region. Now the Chota Nagpur plateau, where it is a densely forested areas, and we know the tribal communities are dependent on these natural vegetative part, but Chota Nagpur is also important as for the mining aspect. It is termed as that region is named as storehouse of the mineral. So as it is considered as the storehouse of the mineral, that means whenever the mining activity is in process, the resultant is the first work is to deforest the areas, and the minerals which are been extracted out, nearby the industries are been set up. So as a result a huge patch of the land is cleared out for the development of mining and industry. And we can say point number 4, that when there is an industrialization there is urbanization also. So the point number 4, if there is a urbanization, obviously the forested land will be cleared out nearby the industrial areas, because industrialization and urbanization goes hand to hand, they move simultaneously. So that is why the areas which are very much promising for the mining and industries, the nearby adjacent areas have been developed as a urbanized areas. So it is also one of the reason why natural vegetation of our country has undergone many changes. And lastly, there are some areas which has been degraded out. Those are not for the trees, but for the small bushes or for some other natural vegetative part which has been continuously grazed by the herds. So overgrazing of the pasture is also created a change. Now there are many grasslands also which also comes under the category of the natural vegetation. So those grassland areas are being grazed out by the cattle. So, overgrazing of pasture is the last point, where that has created a huge changes in the natural vegetation. Now, the next topic that I am going to discuss is the ecosystem. The next topic is ecosystem. Now, what is ecosystem? We know there are two components. One is biotic component and another one is abiotic component. So, when biotic and abiotic component interact with each other, okay, biotic and abiotic component interact with each other through various multiple networks. What is the reason? For their own survival, for their multiple networks, or what we can say multiple interdependencies, for their own survival. Where do they interact? In the physical environment. In the physical environment. This is termed as ecosystem. Once again I am repeating, when biotic and abiotic components interact with each other through multiple network of interdependencies, and for their own survival they interact in the physical environment, that is termed as ecosystem. Okay. So, this is what. Now, hopefully you will be aware about it, that there are two types of ecosystem. One, as we are having the two surface, one is land surface. So, on that basis we are having the terrestrial ecosystem and we are having the water surface. So, we are having the aquatic ecosystem also, which can be freshwater ecosystem, which can be marine water ecosystem. Even the land, we are having a different variations of the land, mountain ecosystem, plain ecosystem, that is the swampy land ecosystem, arid ecosystem. So, that depends upon the land, the climatic condition, but specifically we are having two types of ecosystem: terrestrial ecosystem that indicates land, and aquatic ecosystem that indicates water surface. Now, next we will proceed to the topic, that is how continuously. Now one more thing, when we are studying about this broad topic of the environment, that is ecosystem, so the study is termed as ecology. The study of ecosystem is termed as ecology. Okay, the study of ecosystem is termed as ecology. It is the study of ecosystem. So, now how human beings are continuously influencing the ecology of a region. How human being is continuously influencing? Now, they are dependent on flora and fauna. Okay, human being for there, because human being is an integral part of an environment. It is human being is are considered as a very important part of the environment. So, that means they are dependent on flora and fauna. How they are dependent on flora and fauna? Either they are consuming it in a different way, or they are cutting the trees and they are killing the animals for industrial purpose, for recreation purpose. So, as a result, the percentage of the flora and fauna is continuously declining, and as they are declining, so the resultant, they are just creating an imbalance in the ecology. The entire ecology is getting disturbed. So, when such ecology is getting disturbed, what is the resultant? There are many species which are reaching to the stage of vulnerable, critical, or some have already reached the extinction category, or they are at the verge of extinction. So, in this way, human beings are continuously exploiting the ecology of a region and creating a total ecological disturbances. Now, next term is biome. Actually, biome is its origin is an English word, and it's what we can say. in broader sense, we use the word habitat. Biome is actually the broader sense of habitat. When we say habitat, it indicates a small area, but when we use the word biome, it indicates a vast stretch of area. So, what is actually the term biome indicates? When a very large ecosystem on land having very distinct type of vegetation and animal. Now, I am just giving an example. Now, on the land, very simple, we are having the deserts. Somewhere it is hot desert, somewhere it is cold desert. So, that entire stretch of desert which is having very much specific type of climatic condition, and as it is having a specific type of climatic condition, so the flora is also having its own specification, and even the fauna that can adapt that climatic condition is also specific. So, entirely that large stretch of arid climate is considered as a biome. Okay? So, biome is a large ecosystem which is having a distinct type of vegetation and life is termed as biome. Now, how can you identify the biome? So, it is very clear, biome can be identified specifically by their flora species. Now, if the flora species are cactus or a thorny one, we can say it is a arid biome. If it is having a conical part, we can say it is a mountainous biome. If it is having a broad leaves as well as a huge trunk and tall trees, we can say it is a evergreen biome. So, in this way, if we see the type of the plant species, we can identify that what type of biome it is. So, this is the way we can identify the biome. So, now I am just mentioning what are the questions that will proceed with the today's class. Now, I am writing the questions also. For today, the question number 1 will be give the reasons or give reasons why India's natural vegetation has undergone many changes. Now, question number 1 is give reasons why India's natural vegetation undergone many changes. So, I have already discussed the points, the 5 points I have discussed. You will explain those 5 points with respect to the example from our country. Okay? First question. Second question is related to ecosystem. Define ecosystem. Second question is define ecosystem. Define ecosystem. That is the second question. And the third question is what is ecology and how human being influences what is ecology, how human being influence the ecology of a region. I am writing the third question. What is ecology? So, what is ecology? Ecology is the study of ecosystem. Okay? Ecology is the study of ecosystem. And what is ecosystem? Already I said that when biotic and abiotic components interact with each other through multiple network of interdependency in their own physical environment, they form a system that is termed as ecosystem. And okay, the next question, what is ecology? And the continuation, how human beings influence the ecology of a region, So already I said that every human being is depending upon flora and fauna. So when they are depending on flora and fauna, they are utilizing it in a very irrational manner. They are cutting the forest, they are killing the animals, and as a result, when they are proceeding with such activities, the natural vegetation and the wildlife are getting depleted, and as a result, the entire environment is environmental what we can say, the degradation is there, and or else what we can say, the ecology is getting disturbed. So in this way, human beings are continuously influencing the ecology for meeting their own demands, means they are disturbing the ecological balance. That is question number 3. And lastly, question number 4, what is a biome and how a biome can be identified? Question number 4, what is biome? What is biome and how can it be identified? How biomes are identified? How biomes are identified, or how are the biomes identified? How are the biomes identified? So these are the 4 topics or the questions that I discussed today, and the questions are given. You will just put down all these questions in your copy. Next video will be related to the type of the natural vegetation that are present in our country. I am just naming it: tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, tropical mangrove forest, tropical that is thorny and scrub forest, and tropical montane forest. So these are the categories of the forest that is there in your syllabus. We will discuss the characteristic features of these types of the forest. I'll proceed with the next video explanation. Thank you for following my video. Have a nice day.